Sorry, I was humming then. The other half is playing on the Sims next door. So if you hear any strange noises, it's just the other half. Because he's playing in the study, aren't you, Boo? I said, you're playing in the study, aren't you, Boo? Cool. So he knows that I'm not talking to myself. He knows I'm talking to you guys. So, right. I have videos I've already done. One I've already edited, which is tomorrow's video. Thursday's video I've yet to edit, and Friday's video I've yet to edit. Friday's videos are quite a good one because we tell ghost stories, because we have a few between us. Because where I come from, there's a lot of old mills, and there's a bit of a history lesson in it, but it's not that bad of a history lesson. And where Pete spent the majority of his childhood, it used to be an airfield in the Second World War. So obviously that's got some history as well. So we have a few stories to tell you. Right. And I'll show you this now, even though it's in the video tomorrow, because I was wearing it when I was recording. I have a new jumper. I'm Harry Potter obsessed, if you didn't know. Hence the Slytherin stuff here. But yeah, and I loved it when I went to the Harry Potter shop. Could have spent a lot more money than I did, but you know, you try your best not to spend a fortune. This video is one that I've sort of talked about previously. I talked about it a bit last week when I did the. Right, I'll go back to my videos. Because I do mention it a little bit in the other stuff. Do this so you can see what I'm looking at. Right. I talk about it slightly in the YouTube glitch issue. I do also talk about it in the other one that I've yet to edit. I have spoke about it in the past, which is the animosity. I've not gone into depth on it, which I'm going to do now. But it's about seems to be a level of animosity between new media, the pinnacle of which being YouTube, and then old media like Wall Street Journal, MSN, CNN, BBC, ITV, Sky, Virgin, all those. Now, although Virgin aren't too bad, Sky, MSN, ITV, BBC and all that they can be, primarily because the people that own the companies have political leanings and have loyalty to a specific party, and a lot of the time the staff and their stories will fit that narrative. It happens in this country just like it does in America. I think we didn't realise it was as bad as it was until the hit piece came out about PewDiePie just over a year ago now. And we already knew that normal media didn't like us, because anytime a YouTuber was covered in normal media, they were vilified in one way or another. There's a very famous interview that Jenna Marbles does, and they do a counter of every time she says ridiculous or something. And they do most of the interview making Jenna look absolutely stupid, which she isn't. She is far from stupid. The woman has a master's degree. I wish I could have done my master's degree, but I couldn't. But that's due to other issues. Nothing to do with me being smart enough. There was other factors involved. So they made Jenna look stupid, so she looked like a dumb blonde. Because some of the videos did sort of play off on that whole idea of blondes being dumb. But Jenna isn't. She's extremely intelligent. Some of her opinions are a bit clouded, but that isn't necessarily her fault. So, like I said, it started with the hit piece on PewDiePie. There had, like I said, there had been the little rumblings beforehand where people had interviewed people that were YouTubers. Like I said, there's the whole Jenna thing. Then there's a story that Shane tells. He tells it on Hey Queen, and he says that in that story, hello Tim, hope you're well. And he says that he was doing a project with one of his films, and that they were getting a guest director to come in and talk to him and help him and, you know, give him a bit of guidance, which happened to be Zachary Quinto. And apparently, because Zachary Quinto was a YouTuber, didn't want anything. Because Shane was a YouTuber, Zach didn't want anything to do with him. Adam Brody, this is another example. He was doing a program. He'd started doing this program, and he was meant to use the facilities of a Viner to help get a bit of information onto the a bit of spotlight onto the program. And because he didn't understand Vine and he didn't understand what it was, he just completely ignored her. What? Good, I'm glad you're okay, Tim. I'm just talking about how other mediums seem to hate us. They absolutely hate us, and I don't get it. It took a while for things like the Ellen Show, the Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, all those. It's taken a while for those to come onto YouTube, and they have a good following on YouTube. Right, just jump over, switch to that. Okay, let's look. Right, so Stephen Colbert has just over 3 million subscribers. Jimmy Kimmel has 10 million. Jimmy Fallon has 14 million. Conan, he has just over 5 million, which is great, but it's not at the level of people like PewDiePie, who is currently at 50-odd thousand. PewDiePie, 58 million. So when you look at people that are doing mainstream media and they don't seem to understand new media, it is a bit of a letdown, because it's another way to get your product out there. Now, I get this, I understand this as both a writer and as a YouTuber. It helps. But when you look at things from well, they didn't go to journalism school. I've had that response to from people when I tell them about Philip DeFranco. Now, I'm not saying Phil's perfect by any chance, because sometimes he just gets things wrong, and sometimes he does project his opinions sometimes a little bit too harshly. But majority of the time he tries to be as unbiased and as even as he can be. And when I tell people about it and say, oh well, does he have a journalism degree? I'm like, yeah, but he doesn't. No, he doesn't, but he doesn't need that. If anybody has a a passion for telling the truth and revealing the truth to people, then that's going to come through whether they've got the qualifications or not. I don't have an English language and English literature degree, but I'm still a published author. I'm not the greatest at video editing software, but I'm a YouTuber. And because the new media like Instagram videos and YouTube and all that, people are like, they panic because they think that we're going to come for the jobs, and it's like, yeah, but if we wanted your jobs, we'd go and get the qualifications, and then we'd apply for them. This is a way for us to make our voices heard in a world where we are struggling to get our voices heard. On both sides of the Atlantic, both the UK and the US are having issues with people not feeling that they are being accepted or that their voices are being listened to. And that is why so many people are running to new media. It's why so many people are running to things like YouTube. And particularly when you look at, I don't bring this up often, but when you look at people that are disabled, it's only recently that I've heard of somebody in a wheelchair in a soap. Now, it happens to be that one of the soaps in this country, there is a character in a wheelchair, and she has the same condition I have. And that is relatively unheard of in most soaps, especially in this country. And people don't fully understand that the reason why so many of us are going to this new media, why so many of us are running to this new media and welcoming it with open arms, is because we don't feel represented in any other media. Like I said, I'm not playing the race card, and I don't mean to play the disability card, but in this instance it applies, because other than the Paralympics and the odd occasional disabled person that's on TV, I think we have a couple of people that have conditions similar to mine. There's a couple of people that are thalidomide babies. If you want me to do a video on that, I will do, because it's quite an interesting case. And a few other, like war veterans. There are people like that, but the vast majority of people you see on TV, especially in this country, are very able-bodied. And the fact that I can come on YouTube and I can watch a video of a woman that's practically deaf, and she can communicate with a girlfriend with ease, that I can watch a video of somebody who has crippling social anxiety like Buggy. He has really bad social anxiety, and he has a lot of other things that he deals with, but him having his camera and him having his channel helps him through that. The same with Shane Dawson. He has crippling anxiety, he has body dysmorphia, he has a lot of things, but his channel helps him feel better. And we don't have that outlet in normal media, in mainstream media. So I think that's one thing that they're trying to do, is they're trying to back away from us because they're frightened, because there is that many different people on this platform. It's untrue. And with the rise of cameras with cell phones, some of my videos were actually filmed. I'll just unplug it on this phone. Yes, I have two phones, but this one's like, I use this one for videos, watching videos and sometimes recording, and this one's my normal phone that has all my social media on. And the availability of webcams, the availability of normal cameras, I have, one sec, I'll just grab it. I can actually show it you because I'm not using it this time, because it's not one that I can use and record on the TV, on the computer at the same time. Now, this is a small tripod. It does extend. I don't use the extenders on it. From the pound shop, so it's £1. And this is the camera. It is a Sony camera, and it's a DSC WX350. And I think, with the exception of the computer, this is one of the most expensive purchases, and obviously kitchen stuff. This is one of the most expensive purchases we've ever had. But it wasn't that bad, it was only £150. And it was money we'd saved up specifically for a camera, because I was using my webcam when I first started. So like when I get people commenting, oh, I really want to do my own channel and want to do my own videos, but I haven't got the equipment. If you've got a webcam, you can do it. That's how I started with mine. And I've not been able to pull any of my money out of my AdSense yet, ever. And I've been doing this a year now. And it's one of those things that you just keep trying to build up your fan base. And what are we at now? Let me have a look. Dashboard. Because I know we've gained a few subscribers over the last few days. If any of you guys see this video, hi. We're at 134 subscribers. So we are slowly increasing in our subscriber count and members of the group. And at the end of the day, the whole platform of YouTube is good. It isn't perfect, as we've found out over the last couple of weeks. But as you will see in the video that comes out on Thursday, this was something we've been warning about for years. Well, not for years. There have been people that have been talking about this for longer than a year. There have been people that have been vilified in mainstream media because they said that there's no paedophile rings on YouTube. Turns out there is. There's accounts that are being shut down that are paedophile channels. There's videos where the comments have been switched off because the comments on them are from paedophiles. And there's how many? Let me just check, because Phil put it in his episode today. Let's have a look. 150,000 videos were deleted, and several accounts, I think there's 280 accounts so far, that have been closed because of inappropriate content. I'm not going to go into the full child exploitation because I go through that on Thursday's video, which I've yet to edit. I've done tomorrow's video, which should be fun. But the fact that mainstream media are threatened by this new media is shocking to me. It really is. It's very surprising, because there is a lot of things that go on in mainstream media that we never dream of doing, ever. There is the issues with Bill O'Reilly. There are the way people behave on some game shows makes my skin crawl. It really does. And but they expect everybody to play by their rules, but they don't even play by their own rules. There are standards and there are rules and regulations that people in mainstream media have to abide by. And the last 3 months have proved that no form of mainstream media abide by rules, whether that's the main star of a Netflix TV show, whether it is a big Hollywood honcho, whether it's a big wigging news media, whether it's politicians. We've learned that nobody abides by the rules in mainstream media. And I'm not saying we're perfect on YouTube, because we're not. We've had the Daddy 5 issue, we had the Andy Signal issue, we've had other issues with other people such as Toby Turner. And there was another guy, because I did a video on him, so let me see if I can find it. The guy who I think he nearly got 20 years. Let me have a look. Come on. Let's have a look. Come on. Let's have a look. You know, now I'm looking for it. I can't find it. It was the guy. He was found to be messaging people that were like 12 and asking them to twerk, which was a bit weird. Well, it was more than a bit weird, but I'm just having a look to see if I can find it. That's all I see. Nope. There. Austin Jones. We do have issues, and I'm not saying that PewDiePie's only ever done great things on YouTube, because there has been times that he's messed up. But everybody's messed up in one way or another on YouTube. I've messed up before, and other people have messed up, but the vast majority of us do not mess up to the level of others. And more people in mainstream media have the whole power kick thing going on. And they have the whole power kick, and they're on an ego trip, and they're so important, and they're so wonderful, and they're so perfect. And it's like, but you're not. Just because you have an important, powerful job doesn't make you any better than the people that fund their own movies on YouTube. I've seen several YouTubers create movies out of nowhere. I'm looking forward to some of the movies that other people are going to come out with shortly. And for mainstream media to belittle that is rather annoying. Well, it's more than rather annoying. It's annoying. And it frustrates me, because they're like, well, they don't know what they're doing. A lot of people, some people sit in front of a camera and put makeup on and test makeup. That's fine. It's up to them. They can do whatever they want. Then you've got people that just basically cause trouble with everybody else. Several of them, in fact. You have people that stir up drama and like to be in the middle of drama. Topic of tomorrow's video is a perfect example. Then you have people like one of the communities I'm in, which is the social commentary community, where we see things and we're like, that's not quite right. There's something not right about that. And then we say something. And the thing is, when we said something about certain things, about 3 months later, YouTube will start thinking, oh, bugger, there is a problem there. But it takes them a while, and they shouldn't be taking a while. Yes, to a point, YouTube does police itself. But when you have whole sections of YouTube that until now have been untouchable, but like I say, mainstream media don't like us because I think they're threatened by us, but they also try to put us down because we don't have the qualifications that they do, we don't have the background that they do, we don't have the know-how or the experience that they do, but we are willing to work to get that experience on our own time, on our own dime, and it's usually a passion for that person. I do these videos because I like talking to you guys. I do these videos because when I see something that's either illegal, immoral, or somewhere in between, I can't keep my gob shut. Which is a common thing with a lot of social commentary channels, where if something doesn't make sense, they say something. Now, there's certain topics I don't talk about. I stay out of the main drama of makeup channels. A, because I don't know anything about makeup, and B, because 9 times out of 10 it's petty as hell. It's such and such a body said such and such things to such and such a body, and it's caused this huge drama. It's like, I really don't need to know about that. I think I did used to watch John and Sanders, and then I've stopped watching both because they give you a headache. And the only time I generally speak up about anybody in that side is when they do something really bad, like something that happened over the weekend. Again, watch tomorrow's video, you'll understand what I mean. Now, I think that some forms of mainstream media are trying and are aiming to get a better relationship with new media. Perfect example, this morning. Now, this is one of the family vlogs that I don't watch, but I will show you what I mean. We'll go over to This Morning, which is a channel over here that's on in the mornings on ITV, and it's presented by Holly Wilbur, which is one of my husband's favourite presenters, and Philip Schofield, who's been presenting since I was a kid. He used to do Live in Kicking, Bo? Philip Schofield. Yeah, it was Live in Kicking when I was a kid, with Gordon the golfer. And just as was the husband, because I wasn't 100% sure. So, right, go to videos. Right. They do post lots of videos, so I'll probably have to go back a couple of days. Come on. I know you're not that far back, so I only saw it the other day. Oh, come on. I do know ITV do try, because I do know they do a lot of work with Rosie and Rose as well, and they're YouTubers, but they do try and do events with new media personalities like Rosie and Rose. Here, I'm not going to play the video, I'm going to click on it. It was a week ago. Right.
Own Christmas when you spread the cost.
Right. Scone and Jolie's, the family who share everything online. Now, imagine filming every aspect and then broadcasting every single aspect of your life, from walking your dogs to giving birth. It's the reality of the Soldier family, who have been described as the YouTube's answer to the Kardashians. The award-winning YouTube sensation make their living from sharing absolutely everything to 4 million subscribers. Join Holly and Phil along with their youngest child, Alessa, three of their famous dogs. And they do try and do things like that. And I do know some of the other places here in the UK are trying to do that as well. And I do respect that. And I do respect that some people are at least trying. And while they don't always understand that why vloggers do what they do, a lot of people don't. I don't completely, and there's a lot of things I wouldn't share if I was a vlogger. But that's probably one of the reasons why I would never be a vlogger. The only time you'll see vlogs is if we go away for a day. That's probably going to be the only time they'll see a vlog. Like when we went to London, we vlogged part of that. So that's not something I can do, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm against other people doing it for themselves. And I think that's one issue that old media have with new media, is because when you look at somebody like the Kardashians, one of their episodes might take 2 or 3 days, take part over 2 or 3 days. So let's say 15 minutes per day, which is roughly what a lot of vlogs are, 15 minutes per day. And well, it ranges from about 5 to about 30, depending on who it is. And a lot of the times it is just normal stuff, but then you've also got other people that have businesses, so they show you the behind the scenes of the business, or they have medical issues with the kids, so they give you a look to what their normal day is like with that disabled child, which to me is good, because it means that people can go online and type in what condition their kid's got, and then they can see what somebody else's life's like, and they can think, well, I'm going through the same thing, so I can connect with that person, which is one way that people get a lot of followers on YouTube. Another one is those of us that can't have kids. It's a good way for people to watch people's kids grow up, even though we can't have ones ourselves. So it's a double-edged sword. It really is. It's whether or not it continues to be like this, I don't know. Whether or not we continue to fight between the two forms of media, I don't know. I hope not, because the two forms of media have the possibility and if you combine the two forms of media together, like some people have them, like Ellen has, like Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, Conan, lots of the late night guys, if they combine the two together and they can create truly some of the best videos on the platform, then they are bridging the gap, so to speak. And it's like even some of the late night hosts don't have a conventional background. Jimmy Fallon, for example, I think he was on America's Got Talent one year, and that's what started his career. He had a comedy career. I think he already had a bit of a comedy career, but not big. Over here, James Corden, who now does the show that James Ferguson used to do. He started over here as like a comedy actor, and he was involved in TV programs over here that he's still involved in. And then he goes over to America and does the American show. And one of the reasons why is because people loved Craig so much. When Craig retired from his role in that job, said, well, we'll get somebody else from Britain, and got James Corden, who's a very, very popular actor. And he's very, very good at his job. We have a few of his films. And he's in Doctor Who, which is one of my husband's favourite programmes. But if you can bridge between the two forms of media, then you're great. You know, you're home free. But a lot of old media aren't embracing new media. Like the Wall Street Journal, Time Magazine, New York Times. A lot of companies aren't embracing the new media, and then they're complaining because their view rates compared to somebody like Felix, there's no comparison at all. And even when you look at the viewers on the on CNN and Fox, compare them to some YouTubers, there's no comparison, and that is worrying, because a lot of people would prefer to get their news in 15-20 minute bites as opposed to hour, 2 hour, 3 hour debates, and they would rather get them from multiple sources in small bites than a biased source in a huge bite. And I think some forms of old media are going to have to adapt if they want to survive, because while we do have a few issues on YouTube and we do have issues that we need to fix, I do think that we are going to start seeing some real good come out of YouTube. Daddy of Five situation was one of the best things that came out of YouTube. Now, I'm not going to get into Joy's involvement because I've already gone through that before, but the whole thing with the Daddy of Five situation would the kids would still be in that house if it weren't for Phil saying, I've seen this video and I don't like it. Phil went through some crap when he was a kid, and it kind of progressed. As an adult, he's found not to do that to his kids, and if he sees somebody doing that to a kid, he's going to kick off, and that's what he did. And in the end, the children were removed. The 2 children that were the most victimised were removed, put back with the biological mother, and the father and stepmother are facing charges. That is a good thing that came out of new media. There have been other good things that have come out of new media. Another example is the amount of money Markiplier raises for charity. In actual fact, I will check how much we're on that one actually. Markiplier, because he did a charity live stream over the weekend, because we got to see a bit of it, which we don't always get to do. Markiplier is at nearly 20 million subscribers. Come on. Let's have a look. Total charity raised $1,118,645.14. That's how much money is raised for charity. And he does that. He does a charity live stream once a month, and he does it for a specific charity every month. Whether that involves the total from this weekend just gone, I don't know. But he's very, very open about the fact that he wants to try and make the planet a better place. And when you have people like him that do things like that, nobody ever asked him to do that. He just does it. He just does it. And he does it, like I say, he tries his best to do it every month. And you have a lot of other good that come out, not just the Daddy of 5 situation, not just the Markiplier raising money for charity, but other things. And the amount of times you've got the whole girl love thing that Superwoman's doing, where she's raising money so that she can send children to school in disadvantaged teaching areas of the planet. Where you've got Casper Lee, while I don't agree with his take on the whole Zoella thing, I do like the fact that he has raised money for places he grew up, that he's paying for scholarships, that he's paying for houses to be built, which is great. And they're not the only YouTubers that do that. However, there are outliers that need to be dealt with, and they're in the process of being dealt with. That's the best I can do. Will we ever get to a level where old media will respect us? Probably not. Not for as long as they're controlled by political beliefs of their owners, and we are essentially free agents. We're not controlled by anybody. Yeah, you might get demonetized, but I get demonetized all the time. I don't let it bother me. Why would I? I do this as a hobby. I do this as a hobby, nothing more. I love the community I'm slowly building. I love the communities that exist on YouTube. And I just hope that we learn from the mistakes that we've had, just like I hope that mainstream media do the same. Especially this last 3 to 6 months for both forms of media have been a bit brutal. So let's just hope that YouTube's swift action in the recent issues is probably going to lessen the impact of a possible third wave of adpocalypse. Just waiting for Onision to start saying it's all PewDiePie's fault. F off. Right. I'm gonna love you and leave you. Like I say, you've got a video coming tomorrow, one Thursday, one Friday, and probably live stream Thursday again. Next week it'll probably be Wednesday because I'm going to pick my mum up on Thursday, so she'll be over. So I won't be able to live stream because it'll be a bit weird. So it's not too bad with the husband because he knows what I'm doing, whereas my mum doesn't understand. Well, she might understand, but she's not 100%, if that makes sense. But if anybody's got any questions, let me know down below. If there is a topic, whether you want me to do this normal video or as a live stream, again, let me know down below. And let me know your opinion on why mainstream media hate us so much. I don't get it. I really don't. Thank you very much, Tim. Take care. Bye.